Greetings and welcome to the latest episode of Preserve the 80s. I present this video with a heavy heart. We are mourning the loss of a truly great one today, Wilford Brimley. He died 8 days ago, and things are going to be different without him in the picture. We have this Quaker Oats can here as a tribute. There's a 4C iced tea can under it, just so that it's visible for the camera. 4C is not directly related to Wilford Brimley in any way that I know of, but I do appreciate the fact that they've changed very little since the 80s, and the iced tea quality holds up over time. Logo has not radically changed. There have been some minor changes, but nothing too intense. And for those not familiar with it, Caldor is a defunct department store chain. So if you're curious as to this logo, that's why there's a rainbow on my shirt. It's the logo that Caldor had before they switched to the red and white accent mark style. But to get back to the point, Wilford Brimley was a legend. He was a giant among men, and words cannot do him justice. Whether it be the wondrous commercials he produced for Quaker Oats in the 80s, the Liberty Medical diabeetus commercials, and we will be calling it diabeetus on this channel in honor of Mr. Brimley, or even his appearance in movies. We'll get to one of those in a bit. He just contributed a great deal to society, and we owe him a huge debt. Normally, I don't feel much of a personal loss when a celebrity dies. It's not that I don't care, but more so I just didn't have any personal connection to them. So, yes, it's sad, but the loss of a stranger doesn't affect me on a personal level most of the time. But Wilford Brimley was a part of my life, and even if not directly, but he was a large and looming presence in the world, and it's a different place without him. He was one of those people who it seemed like would just go on living forever because it seemed like he was born old. And being somebody who was born old myself, there's a certain brotherhood between us. So we'll start out by introducing a clip of a commercial from him that he was in, extolling the virtues of Quaker Oats, as well as some good lessons when it comes to thrift. I hope you will enjoy it.
You know, when I was a kid and got a hold of a nickel, I thought I was rich. I didn't turn up my nose at pennies either. Today, some folks won't even bend to pick them up. Well, here's a bowl of steaming Quaker oatmeal. And I can't think of a healthier way to start the day. Cost you 1 nickel and 4 pennies. So if you can't be bothered with nickels and pennies, throw them in a jar. Start an oatmeal fund. Quaker Oats. It's the right thing to do. Not too expensive either.
That video has some important lessons. Not only is oatmeal good for you, but so are pennies and nickels, and we should not turn our noses up toward them. I will move in a bit closer as there was a lot of focus there. But I don't know what Wilford Brimley would have thought about this supposed national coin shortage. I personally don't believe it to be real, but let's not go down that road. We're talking Wilford Brimley right now, not conspiracy theories. Wilford Brimley was a man with values, a man with principles, a man with class. And he didn't just cater to the senior set. He cared about kids too. And he cared about health in a way that wasn't intrusive or preachy or infringing on our personal rights to eat what we want. And you will see that in this following commercial.
What I do now is I take a real brisk walk each morning. Doctors are figuring out it's better for you than jogging. And I'll tell you something else they're just figuring out. Oatmeal is even better for you than you thought. High in fiber, high in protein, low in calories, and no cholesterol whatsoever. You see the sign? Word's getting out. The sign wasn't there yesterday, but it's there now, and there'll be more of them tomorrow.
Quaker oatmeal. It's the right thing to do.
As can be seen at the end of that last clip, Wilford Brimley wanted us to have a choice when it came to foods. The two additional flavors of Quaker Oats that were shown at the end were not even spoken about during the commercial. It was a subtle message just to let us know there's a big world out there with lots of different things to eat. Some of them can be good for us, and on rare occasions, some of those things can even taste good. But he didn't get preachy about the different flavors. He didn't tell us which one to select. He just wanted us to know they were there, and if we so chose, they were ours for the taking. Thank you, Mr. Brimley. Now, at this point, I would like to introduce one of the many great diabetes commercials that he helped to produce over the years. This one is for Liberty Medical, a company that, as far as I know, is still in existence. And he made many great commercials for them over the years, helping people with diabetes get their testing supplies and assuring them that there's nothing to worry about, because when it came time to renew their supplies, their whatever it was that they needed, they wouldn't have to be concerned that they may forget, since Liberty would be there to remind them.
If you have diabetes and are on Medicare, you may qualify for a free meter from Liberty Medical. You know, there are still some people who don't know that the cost of their diabetes testing supplies may be covered by Medicare. Well, if you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, your testing supplies may be covered. Here's how it works. Liberty is a Medicare participating provider. They bill Medicare and your insurance company. You pay nothing up front. Your testing supplies are delivered right to your door and no charge for shipping. You have nothing to worry about, because when it's time to reorder, Liberty will remind you. They'll even send you a free meter if you qualify. Give them a call to find out. Call Liberty Medical. They can help you live a better life. Get your free meter. Call Liberty today at 1-800-903-3756.
Well, if you aren't impressed yet, I don't know what to tell you, but I do have some more things to show you. Before I do, though, I mean, that commercial had everything. It had Wilford Brimley, it had a nice homey environment, it had good instructions on what to do when it came to diabetes and having your diabetes treated and managed. He was a wise man who had much to give, much knowledge to impart. And we have truly become a weaker society, and each of our souls has become a bit more hollow without Wilford Brimley there to bolster us. Now, many of you may not be aware of the fact that, in addition to appearing in commercials and being a spokesman for Liberty Medical, Wilford Brimley was also an actor. He starred in several movies, one of which is 1985's Cocoon. In case you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil the whole plot, but the most important part of the story is that there's a convalescent home, and Wilford Brimley plays the role of one of the patients, along with the late great Don Amici and several other elderly stars of the day. And there's assistance from alien life forms that kind of works out in a different way than what's expected. And you might say that it makes all the old people a bit more peppery than you'd expect them to be. Old people fixed in a little bit different way. And, well, here's a trailer that kind of will let you know some of the basic points without spoiling the whole film if you haven't seen it.
From the farthest corner of a distant galaxy and the deepest feelings of the human soul comes a fantasy to fill your heart.
I feel tremendous. I'm ready to take on the world.
It is everything you've dreamed of. It is nothing you expect.
Oh, I can keep a secret. I won't tell anybody.
It's hard to know who to trust.
It is the mystery of an awesome secret. It is the miracle of everlasting life.
We'll never be sick. We won't get any older, and we won't ever die.
Beyond the innocence of youth and the wisdom of age lies the wonder of Cocoon. 20th Century Fox presents the new film from the producers of Jaws and the director of Splash. Cocoon.
No, it's the kind of trailer that will just blow you away. I mean, if you haven't seen the film, I'm sure that now you are hoping to, and the good thing is there are many different ways of doing it. You can watch it online. Sadly, Blockbuster's not around anymore. I don't know if any of those red box booths would sell it. They tend to focus more on contemporary things, which aren't worth watching. But there are ways out there to watch Cocoon. I would encourage you to explore and find them. I would like to close out this video by saying that I will truly miss Wilford Brimley. All of us in the oatmeal and 80s obsessed and geriatric communities will we will miss him, and I hope that I've shed some light on some of his greatness in this video, and that you've come to appreciate him a bit more, and that once you hit old age, or at least have the appearance of being an old age, that you too will take these lessons from Wilford Brimley and try to, well, none of us will ever be the next Wilford Brimley, but try to be the next best thing. Jim Rauch could have been another Wilford Brimley, but he chose to go down a dark road, and that's unfortunate. But Wilford Brimley, he chose light. He chose the right path. And just as a species, we are richer for having known him and for having had him among our numbers. So, rest in paradise, Mr. Brimley. I will see you again. Well, I will not be seeing Wilford Brimley, but my small audience, small in numbers, not small in stature, I will see you again in the next episode. Farewell.